Hello, my sewing friends. I'm Jen. This is my sewing room, and today is Friday Sews. I have so much to tell you about, so I'm going to jump straight in. I left town for our Thanksgiving holiday here in the U.S., and I knew I was going to be in cold weather, and I don't have any cold weather clothes, so I needed some. So I got to going, and I'll start out with Butterick 6455. This is from 2017, and I made View C. And I made this because I saw where Viv Mom had made a crepe peasant top, and she put a ruffle on the bottom, and it just hung so beautifully. Just the perfect thing to put with jeans or leggings. And so I thought, ooh, I really like that. And I had been planning on making one for a while, so I went ahead and used some crepe de chine that I have. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, but it doesn't hang like the crepe that Viv used. And so I have just a little elastic cuff, elastic neckline. I did put the ruffle on. And after I got it on, for one thing, I didn't feel like it was long enough to wear with leggings, although I'm kind of iffy about that. But I wanted to add some weight to it so it would draw it down and give the illusion of having the same weight that a crepe would have. Well, I wanted something that wasn't going to distort the hem and be too stiff. So what I found at Hobby Lobby was some of this. Some shimmy fringe. Is that what you'd call this? It's elastic. So it was really easy to top stitch on. So I have a little shimmy in my life. So that turned out well. And I put the fringe on after I got home. Then I moved on to Butterick 6492, which is a Catherine Tilton pattern. It is from 2017 also. The thing about Marcy and Catherine Tilton is that you look at this and you don't see what's so cool about their patterns. This one, it has kind of a curved princess seam in the back, and then it's got that high waistline, I guess that's what you call it, in the front. And it's curved. So I went ahead and used this knit. It does call for knits, a moderate stretch knit, and I think it calls for 35% stretch. So I had gotten this fabric on my vacation this past summer in Mount Airy, North Carolina. And yeah, I think it turned out really well. The thing about this that I love is the pockets. It has pockets. So pockets are kind of a deal breaker for me with most things, but yeah, I really like it. The only thing is I wish it were longer, but yeah, live and learn, it works, it's comfy, I like it, yeah. McCall 7816 came out in 2018. It may still be in the books. This is a dog coat, joggers, a top, and a hoodie dress, and I made the dress. And I made it out of some leftover knit that I had. This is almost like, I think actually what this is a baby French terry. I'm not sure, but it was a Walmart bundle, so yeah, who knows? It's anybody's guess. I got it done, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. And part of what the problem was is this has side seam pockets, but they were distorting the shape. So I took them out, which, what? I took pockets out. So it's better now. I curved the hem up just a little bit because I thought, ooh, that's kind of a cool thing. I did make it fairly short, but I'll tell you that a couple of things I've noticed, because you know how picky I am. The hood isn't big enough, and the neckline comes up too high. So I went back in, I took out the pockets, I shaped it a little bit because it's pretty much of just a box. And I put it on, and I like it better, but it looks like a nightgown. I think it's because of the color. Yeah. So I don't know that I'll wear it as a nightgown. I'll probably wear it with jeans, probably. So yeah. I wouldn't call that a win or a fail. Just something in between, I guess. And then I made a couple of cardigans. You know how I'm always talking about making cardigans? I actually finally did it. A couple of years ago, I compared the Harper cardigan from Sinclair Patterns, which looks, actually I'll show you this way. It looks like that. No buttons, just a cardigan, several lengths. You can get it in tall, regular sizes, plus sizes. I mean, the options are endless on this thing. Anyway, and then I compared it with New Look 6729, and this is from sometime in the 1990s. And I made the cardigan. When I had done this before, I made it out of two different fabrics. I think both were Walmart bundles. And I said it was an even kind of deal. I wanted to compare an indie pattern with a new Big Four pattern. And it really was kind of a tie. They both were nice cardigans. When you tried them on, it was a toss-up. So I used this navy, I'm going to call this a velour. It's a knit, stretch knit, and it's got like a velvety texture with almost like a cord ribbing. And I got it done, and I found that I had made a size larger, which is what I wanted, because I wanted that just, you know, I wanted that big cozy feel. So I got this done, and I realized that the front band here was too stiff because I had interfaced it as the pattern called for. So I ended up taking it off and using the front band from the Harper cardigan. And if I'm honest, this isn't my favorite this time. I prefer the indie pattern. I can't believe I'm saying that. Oh my gosh, blasphemy. But I did the Harper out of a Walmart bundle. And I have to tell you, this is like a hachi knit. It's very, very soft. You can kind of see it's got a little bit of, you know, like a fuzz to it. This fits so nicely. I feel like very chic coastal grandmother in it. It's long, and it's longer than the New Look. And I did a cool thing with the pockets that I want to tell you about in a tutorial. Not today, but you know, I would like to do that. But this is just, okay, I give. The Big Four loyalist is admitting defeat when it comes to cardigans, because this thing I love. The only thing I would change about this in the future is to make it a little wider. I'd bring this in a little more. Love that cardigan. So those were all the things that I made before I left on my trip. And I have been working on a couple of things since I've been back. And the first is Vogue 8291. I'm making View, what is that, C? This pattern is from 2006. And I think it's so cute. I don't even know where I got it. I think it was part of either thrifted or something. I'm using a stretch chiffon. And I didn't have any, well, I didn't want to use bias tape, regular like cotton bias tape on the neckline here. It calls for a ruffle, and then you are supposed to use regular bias tape. And I didn't like that. So I had some fold over elastic, but I didn't stretch it quite enough. And can you see what it's doing? How it's just rolling to the outside. So what I'm going to do is go back in. I've taken the back part off, but I'm going to go back in and redo it and stretch the elastic a little more. Maybe that'll fix it. I don't know. But this is a stretch chiffon from Joann's. Then I'm working on McCall's 9388 from 1985. I wanted a sweatshirt. And so I'm making View B, which is this one. It's got a yoke, sleeves, kind of a side front piece, and I'm doing it from some, honestly, I don't know where I got this fabric. It was either a Walmart bundle or it was some kind of a remnant piece that I got at some place. It's fabric from somewhere. I have this red, and then I also have this red and white stripe. So, doesn't that go great together? This is coming off a little more tomatoey raspberry than it actually is. It's a little bit of a faded red. And so this is going to be the yoke and the front and the back, and this is going to be the sleeve and then the side piece. I think that's going to be gorgeous. I'm also using some, again, I think this is a Walmart bundle, but it's some rib knit, I guess. I'm using it as ribbing for that. So that's all the sewing I got done and what I'm working on now. That is a lot of sewing. Man, I was cranking stuff out because these were easy things to do, especially the cardigans. I also decided I would try my hand at a craft. And so in the Gift for November challenge on Instagram, Izzy from Dizzy Quilting Sews made a little mug rug. So I made one too. This was so easy, and I actually even quilted it. Oh my gosh, look at me. Look at me quilting, making something other than a piece of clothing. Oh my goodness. It wasn't hard. What was hard was the binding. And after I got this one done, this wasn't too bad. I think my corners look okay, you know. But where you attach the binding, it looks a little rough. And so I thought I would make another one. So I made this one, which is not actually a J. This is reversed. If I showed it, when I look at it, it's backwards. So it's actually supposed to be a candy cane. So I went ahead and did a satin stitch around all of it. So I appliqued this part and quilted it. I was happy with the way it was quilted. And then I went to put this binding on. And this is actually bias binding, and it's two-sided, so, you know, it's like bias binding. And then it's got this little picot edge at the top. This thing, I was ready to light it on fire. Oh my gosh, you know me, I won't give up, but look at this stitching. It is horrendous. And I thought, all right, that's it. I'm done crafting. Quilting is for another day because I just didn't need that kind of stress in my life. I like things to be really perfect, and you can't always get them perfect. So I'll continue to work on my quilting skills, maybe. We'll see. So I do need to get started on my Christmas dress, but I don't know that I'm going to have time to do that because let's just segue right into life, shall we? We had a baby last week. Oh my goodness. My husband and my daughter and I all went up to see my other daughter and her sister and her other sister and her other sister. We were all in the same place at the same time, mainly for the baby, but also for Thanksgiving. And we were in Virginia, and so the baby was born on the 23rd, and we had Thanksgiving the next day. We didn't go all out. We used packaged mashed potatoes, and, you know, I just got a turkey breast that had already been cooked, so we warmed it up. I made an apple tart out of crescent rolls and apples, and, you know, it was just a great time. And because the baby had just been born, then we took leftovers over to the hospital, and Mom and Dad got to chow down. So, you know, oh, that baby is such sweetness. You were all right. You were all of you. You're right. I am in love with that little boy. His name, we finally got to know his name. It is Wesley James. He was 6 pounds, 12 ounces, and he was born at 5:19 p.m. on the 23rd. So his mom and dad decided that it would be best if I came up to help after Dad goes back to work, which is this coming Wednesday. So I am going to head up for an indeterminate amount of time. I don't know, I'm going to fly and help my daughter because she's overwhelmed like we all were when we first had kids. In fact, she said, she has a twin sister and she's the oldest. They're both the oldest. And she said, how did you do this with 2 babies? I don't get it, Mom. And I said, I don't know. I have no memory. I was making it up as I went along. So it's good to be the veteran in the house and to want to take care of my daughter as well as that new little bundle. Oh, the sweetness. And as soon as I got back, I came in here and I started working on the new things. I don't know, there's just something about being away with family. It's stressful, but it's also wonderful. You know, I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with time with my family, not with my family, but with time with my family because they stress me out. It's a lot of people with a lot of opinions. We're 6 women who are loud and opinionated. And so, yeah, I came back in and I just kind of felt like I was in my happy place. And now I have to leave again, and that's okay because I have stuff I'm going to take with me when I go. So the question for this week is, what gift did you ever give or receive that was not well received? I can think of 2 or 3 things, and I'm sure that's just the beginning of, you know, the whole list of things that I've made for people that they did not love. One was a suit for a boyfriend. Oh my goodness, he hated that thing. It was brown corduroy. Okay, it was brown corduroy. My husband, several things I've made he has not liked, and I hesitate to sew for him for that reason. And I remember one Christmas when I was 19 or 20, I'd made my brother a shirt, and I had forgotten to cut open the buttonholes. It was just a basic, you know, button front shirt, and he said, "Oh no, I'll have Mom do that." And I said, "No, I can do it right now." And he goes, "No, that's okay. I'll have Mom do it." And I know what he was saying was, "I hate this shirt, and I don't want to do it. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm just going to toss it." Yeah, you know, you win some, you lose some. There have been times when people have made things for me, and I've thought, "Oh, thanks." You know, it's like, when am I ever going to use that, or what am I going to do with that? But, you know, the important thing is to be gracious. With Advent, there are 4 focuses each week. So each week in December, there's, you know, you focus on a different thing. The first week is hope. And so I'm going to leave you with this from the book of Isaiah. This is verse 2 and following. "The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. For those who have lived in the land of deep shadows, light, sunbursts of light." He's referring to the coming of Jesus, who gives us hope. So take care. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.